Hello everyone, I am Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love sharing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick art projects. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, please hit the red subscribe button. Today we're painting this really fun little ceramic. It is about, let me see, 7 inches tall. Oh, 7 inches tall. So this is ceramic. I'm going to show you how easy it is to paint ceramics with acrylic paints. You don't need a kiln, you don't need anything. I like to clear coat my ceramics when I'm done with either a triple thick or a matte clear finish in a spray can. I'll put that link in the description down below. And I'm just going to flip you guys over and we are going to get started. I have out two different oranges. I have out a pretty bright orange. It's a pure orange, and then I have out this spiced pumpkin orange for a little bit of a deeper color. I'm going to get a bigger brush. I had that one, but I feel like I could use a bigger brush on this surface. So sometimes, well, most of the time, oranges, yellows, and reds tend to be pretty translucent. Then combine that with ceramic, and you may often need a second coat. Now I'm starting with the back of mine so then I can lay it down and work on the flat side. And if you notice, I go back and forth and I dip my brush into both oranges at the same time, and I'm just coming up here. These blanks here, this is called the whittled wood jack-o'-lantern, and I get it at Gare Ceramics, but lots of your local stores, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Target, any kind of those stores, they've been having a variety of little already done ceramics. So you can get some blanks, grab a few colors of acrylic paint, and have yourself a little craft afternoon. I like painting ceramics with acrylic paint. The paint dries pretty quickly, so by the time I get done with this back, I'll be able to lay it right down on its backside and then paint the front for you. So now I've done this whole thing with both oranges. I can see how I have different color oranges, and I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow, and I'm going to start painting in a little bit of highlight on some of my sections. Not too much, just a little bit. We want to brighten it up a little bit. I think I'm going to skip over to here and just adding in a little bit of this yellow just to brighten up our pumpkin a little bit. If you think you have too much yellow, just dip back into the orange. Easy peasy. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of white. And I'm going to get the brush that I originally had out. I'm going to load it up with some white. Then I'm going to use this brush and I'm just going to add a little splashes of highlight to the top of my pumpkin. Okay? And I'm going to get my liner brush. I'm going to go into the brown, and I like to twirl it. I want to have a nice point on my liner brush, and I'm just going to run my liner brush into the segments of my pumpkin. Just adding a little bit of this detail. You could leave it completely orange if you want. You don't have to add the highlights. You don't have to add these segments. It is up to you. But these little details just help your art project stand out from someone else's. You could even do these segments in black if you wanted. I like that the brown isn't as harsh, and I'm going to use the brown for my stem as well. And so I don't need to get out black paint too. And there is the whole back of our pumpkin. See how quick I painted that too? So I'm going to, you know what, before I flip it over, I think I'm going to do the back also of the stem. So this was the brush I just used for the white highlights. I just dipped it into the brown paint, and I'm just doing the stem, or the back of the stem. Okay, and now I am going to gently lay it down. Okay, and while I have the brown on my brush, I'll come in here and I will do the front of the stem. Acrylic paint on ceramics dries really, really quick. So I will be able to come back in there and make my stem a little bit darker. Okay, I'm going to keep my finger in here. I'm going to go back to my oranges. And I'm going to do the same thing I did to the back to the front. I'm picking up both color oranges on my brush, and I'm just filling in my pumpkin. The beauty of acrylics on ceramics, you don't need a kiln. You can let it dry. Takes about, I would say, not even 24 hours. And then you can leave it, or you can spray it. You can spray it with a triple thick, which is a pretty high gloss clear coat. Or you can use a matte finish or a satin finish, whatever you like to do. It's totally up to you. I have listed a couple in the description. You can go down there and check them out. It really depends on what I'm working on as to which one I will use. Another idea for this, because it is a jack-o'-lantern, I would take a piece of felt or a piece of black construction paper and tape it into the inside, and then your nose and your mouth and your eyes would be black behind them. Or you can take this ceramic piece and leave the eyes open, but put a battery operated tea light candle underneath it, and when you turn it on and light it, it will glow through the eyes and the nose and the mouth. I'm also being careful here to paint inside on the ridges of the snout and the eyes, because when it's up on the counter or wherever you have it on a shelf, you're going to see the white in there. So you want to get your brush in there and you want to paint that all in. Okay. A few more spots down here. And again, I'm just going to dip in the yellow, and I'm going to come up here. I'm going to give a little bit of highlight. Up here on the top of my pumpkin. And here again on the same other side with a little bit of the yellow for some highlight. You don't want it to look stripy, so you want to blend it in as best you can. Up here, I'm only putting a little bit on my brush, and I'm just working it in to the orange just to add a little bit of highlight. It's a little bit of a subtle highlight because it's yellow, not white. And it's just up here. I'm pulling it down a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to go back into my dark brown, and I'm just going to add some dark brown here on my stem. I'm going to wash my brush. Okay, go into my white with my smaller brush that I just washed, and I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight to the stem. I'm going to add a little bit of highlight to the top of my pumpkin. And again, I'm going to get my liner brush. Don't forget, if you like my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's lots more where this came from. I love helping people find a little joy through art, whether that means watching me paint or trying my paint designs and my tutorials, whatever works for you. I'm going to come in here with these brown lines, just kind of like adding this little shading here to the cracks in between the segments of our pumpkin. They don't have to be perfect. Some of mine are wider, some of mine are thinner. Totally okay. It's nice to have the groove here. It kind of helps to keep your brush in place. You don't have to worry about really making the curve or the straight line, because it kind of grabs your brush and keeps it in there. And there we have it. Isn't that cute? So let me turn you guys around. And here is my jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. Now when this dries, I'm going to give it about 24 hours to dry. When it dries, I'm going to take it, I'm going to spray it with a clear coat that you can find below in the description. Thank you for joining me. If you didn't subscribe to my channel, please do. Thanks, and have a great fall.